So now, welcome friends. We will see as to how we go about placing objects in space. For that purpose, in the examination, you'll find that the objects, when they are placed in front of you, the table or say a box on which the items are laid, you'll find that particular table or object is say either parallel to your body like this or is angular, is like this, angular, okay? Is angular to yours, right at the center. And observing this, you'll find that the although when we see this object in top view, both the width here and here they are the same. But when in perspective, how does it happen that uh, the the lines they converge, okay, towards a find as to how when the object is sitting at the center, what we'll see, or say how the when the viewer is sitting here, okay, and this body is always parallel to you, how you will be able to see this side of the face. Or suppose if the viewer is shifting here, you're finding that it will shift on this side. You'll be able to see this side of the face. Okay, that thing is covered in my previous video. You can, it is a must that you first see that first video and then come to this particular video. Okay, so here, if you see, I have taken parallel first same object. Suppose if like say for example, I'm using this eraser, okay, so see this eraser edge is parallel to my body, okay, so that's why when it is laid here, you'll find a certain size like this much, and the moment it goes away from you, you'll find this size which you are seeing, it's reducing, okay, so that is how we go about drawing in perspective. Okay. So now, but then when suppose if the object is placed like this, okay, say for example, the table on which say all these still life will be laid, if it is at an angle like this, okay. So when it is at an angle like this, how much, how do we go about drawing this? Okay. So there is one thumb rule that when see like if you see this side here, it is written that when the viewer is say, when we take see your top view, okay, the viewer's hand when it is at right angles, okay, so this one hand will be parallel here, okay, when we project that line, okay, when it is in parallel perspective, you'll find that this is what will be there projected as the vanishing point on the horizon. So that is what is happening here. Okay, so that means here, say to these edges, if it is parallel. Okay, now you'll have a question. Oh no no! If these two edges are not parallel, what will happen? No, these lines they have to be at right angles. So once, so the vanishing point, once we have say to parallel to one edge also, okay, and then we the other hand at right angles, that becomes the second vanishing point. Okay, and not say at an angle like this. Okay, so basically it is this structure which is there, this structure. Okay, so this say like it goes and be there on this vanishing point. Okay, so that is why you are not able to see the sides of this. Okay, when you are at the center. Okay, but suppose if you shift here, you'll find you are seeing this here. Okay, but not this side. Okay. Now what happens when say the viewer, or rather the box which is there, okay, I can just bring it at the center. Let's say here, okay, or rather the viewer is here and say at an angle. like say suppose this same box, suppose if it is then placed at an angle like this, okay. Like this one is moved along a angular plane. What will happen is he will also shift position, like this is his face. So one line is parallel to this, the other line is parallel to this edge. So then you'll get on the vanishing point 2 points, like this will go outside the page. Okay, so this is how you will get two vanishing points. Now this particular thing is known as angular perspective. And this basic and like this. So this one here, okay, and then this will not be like when the viewers eyesight is projected on the vanishing point, there will be two vanishing points here and here, and there will be one principal point. So, say in parallel perspective, this will be um, the principal in parallel perspective. It will be the principal point as well as the vanishing point. Okay, but then when we are drawing, say you'll have a separate principal point, and then you'll have a two separate vanishing points. Okay, which will be parallel to these lines like this when they are getting projected on the horizon. So suppose if I say draw, so I will place these ones, okay, and say suppose if I say this same box which is there. Now suppose if I say this same box which is there. Now suppose if it is laid in this direction. So this is what you'll see. And since you are say suppose if you are seeing this side, that means the viewer is here. Say for somewhere here or here. Okay. Say for example, I'm taking the viewer is here. Okay. This is the viewer. We don't do is not parallel to this. This is in perspective. This angle is not what we are seeing in perspective. Will be a 90-degree angle. Okay. Now, how do we calculate these particular things? We'll take a separate video on this, and then we'll only talk about this particular portion. But now, what I am trying to explain you is the viewer is here, and once you get these two lines, okay, in perspective, where will be the vanishing point? So one point will be here, okay, and say one point will be somewhere here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just erase it so that it's for your convenience. I actually did not wanted this thing to overlap. Okay, but then I cannot help it. Okay, so let us see whether okay. But then I cannot help it. Okay, so let us see whether suppose if we draw the same box which is there, this side is it looks little smaller in size. So say like this. Okay. And suppose if this is the line, this is going towards here. Like this. Okay, somewhere like this. You can say make it with a scale more straight. Okay, so which is there, you say here like this. Here. So the viewer has to be here and not here because he's seeing, say, suppose if it's perspective, you will see only this front edge. And suppose if you are at the center, you will not see any of this side. Suppose if you are here, you won't be able to see this side and this side. But say in angular perspective, we will be able to see this face also and this face also. So again, same method. Like suppose this point is going towards this vanishing point, this line, okay, and say this one is going towards this vanishing point like this. So suppose if I see visually this length, say this one. So I again draw a vertical line like this. Okay, a vertical line like this. And then when I and say if this visually I'm seeing the width, let's say this much, so I draw a vertical line like this. Vertical line. So then I will just join. It is like this. I'm just direct. So that is how we get the top portion of the box. Okay. So this is what you'll actually see also in angular perspective. This is what is the box visuals front portion in angular perspective. Actually, the thumbnail also. So you'll find here if you see this width is more and this is little in size. So that it draws some staircase like this, also so at an angle. Okay, so that is how you see. Like say, this is just part of my it's also parallel perspective. So see, you'll see this line, okay, then these lines and these lines, which I explained you here like this, and your a note of that you should never draw uh, that it should never happen rather that this say for example age is looking I mean smaller than this age perspective. Okay, so now say arrange like this, say a pot which you must have seen my video on how to paint a pot. Okay, like this, or say suppose there is a bucket kept like this here instead of this pot. Okay, and then you'll find something in a place like this, but you'll find something like this also, that the in this case the box is here, so you'll the pot you are seeing is generally placed at the center on this box, and the pot placed like this. So, or say when it is arranged in an angular fashion, you will never find that this oval shape. You'll always notice the not much difference between the two. Okay. Now theoretically, does it really happen that way? We will cover that in your subsequent videos. So I think in this very short topic, I have explained. Okay, that is they are parallel to the two hands when they are of the viewer, when they are held at right angles, okay, and parallel to these particular things like this. See, so this is parallel here, and this is a top view basically. Okay, so let's, if you're not understood this thing, not to worry, I'll cover this particular topic of angular perspective in my next session on how to draw in perspective. Okay, so you have now understood this particular topic very nicely. Okay, so do try drawing this at home, and if you have any queries, do let me know. I will clear all your doubts. Maybe I won't be able to explain it in live session, but then if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Okay. So thank you very much for watching.